The evolution of aesthetics.
Okay.
You've been in aesthetics a lot longer than me, so I think you have the right to give your opinion on how you feel it has evolved, what you've seen, but I also want to see where you think it's going. So over the past 10, 15 years that you've been doing aesthetics, what are the major changes you have seen, for good and for bad? Like, which are the major changes?
When I first started in aesthetic medicine, one of the biggest focuses or trends that you had was having a pillow face. I saw this within every aesthetic clinic that I worked in.
Did you do pillow faces?
I never did pillow faces, but it wasn't my thing. But most men and women came in for filling out their face because it gave them an instant result. They looked different and everyone thought it looked great. I personally didn't think it looked great. As time went on, what I found was within aesthetics is we had the introduction of skin boosters, and that was focused more on quality of skin and making your skin look good, but it still wasn't that big. As time's gone on, it's completely transformed. Nobody wants to get fillers done that much more. It's still done now, but it's done very strategically. But so where we see it now after the introduction of skin boosters is it's become more, the word is regenerative aesthetics as opposed to just modern standard aesthetics with filling your face out and looking completely different. The trend that you have now, the direction that is going in, I think personally, is people are starting to look more natural. They're starting to look more, they're aiming towards more healthier skin, building collagen, and just trying to maintain that lift within the face without looking fake. What's your opinion?
I think that we have a mixed bag at the moment, if I'm honest. I think you've got a lot of people that are advocating for looking natural, but I also think that you've got a lot of people still stuck in overfilling. There's a lot of people still stuck in overfilling. If you look across our clients that come in the door, you've got, I would say, yes, last year it was probably more 50-50. I think you still got 30% that want the overfilled lips, the cheek filler, because I think you get into a space where I don't think people see themselves anymore.
Yes.
So I don't think they see what they used to be like, which is really sad, but they don't see what's actually aging them, what's not aging them, what looks natural, what doesn't look natural. I don't think people come in and get a pillow face and think, oh yeah, I want to come in for the pillow face look, please. They don't realize they're doing that. They think that the youth is plump cheeks, right? That's youth. That's a sign of youth, big plump apple cheeks. So when somebody is thinking, oh my God, I'm aging, my face is just, I've got muscle atrophy and I've got no muscles left in my cheeks anymore, and everything is just sagging down, my ligaments have become weak. Of course, straight away, people think, fill my cheeks because it's going to lift up my face. But what they don't realize is that when you lift up the face, number one, you get the pillow face because you get the closed eyes that now make you look old and show you that you've had aesthetics done. And number two, hyaluronic becomes heavy after a while. So what goes up must come down. Gravity still keeps going. And no matter how much filler you put in, you can't control gravity. So eventually that filler that hasn't dissolved over time does become heavy in the face. And I think that can cause more sagging if not done properly. So we see a lot of people that come in and we dissolve filler and then we add a little bit of filler back in again, because I think filler's great in places that it's needed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that whole adding back in the collagen, putting back in all the nutrients that the skin needs to build its own collagen, lay down fibroblasts to lay down collagen and elastin. These are the really important parts. But I will put a caveat in this, because I think when you look at Sculptra, if Sculptra is done wrong, it is catastrophic.
Yeah.
It's worse than if you do filler wrong, because you can't change that. You can't change what you've done with Sculptra. There's no reversing that. At least with filler, you can dissolve it and you can restart again. If you go wrong with placing Sculptra in the face, there's a big problem. And a lot of people that are injecting Sculptra, unfortunately, don't understand the biomechanics behind it and what's actually happening to the face, to the skin, to the fibroblasts when they're injecting the Sculptra in the skin. No?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think one of the most important bits. But whilst you've been talking, one of the things that I've been thinking about the most is one of the gaps that's definitely been filled at the moment is, when I first came into aesthetics, the options that you had were to either get filler done to overfill the face, or you had the other option is you go down the surgical route and you have a facelift. What you have now is you have a space in between, because you've got new products that are now coming out. everything is now being focused on anti-aging in inverted commas, even though we used that a long time ago, and it's based on collagen and.
But it's also a one rule fits all. I think that the aesthetics at the moment is a one rule fits all, and it's very, very seldom that people actually look into people's ethnicities. You can't treat everyone's ethnicity the same way. I'm not going to put the same skin booster in someone who's got Caucasian skin, someone who's got Asian skin, acne prone skin, black skin. I'm just not going to put the same skin boosters in all of these different people. Some people may need a really watered down version of PLLA, aka Sculptra.
Yeah.
Some people may need a higher dose of this of Sculptra, PLLA, because their collagen formation is a lot slower, and it's and they've got a lot more. Their loss is a lot more of their collagen, and some people their collagen stays a lot more. We've already broached on the whole thing of looking at different ethnicities in their skins and how their collagen breaks down over time and bone loss, etc. So you have to take that into play when you're doing aesthetics on somebody's skin. Otherwise, you're going to make someone look fake. They'll just look fake because it's not where their skin is aging. It's not how their skin is going. And all we're trying to do is slow down that process. But I also don't think with aesthetics, we can keep just anti-aging from the outside. We have to anti-age from the inside as well. We have to mix the two together. When you put the two together, you look younger. Somebody can come in and we say to them, wow, you look really good. What have you been doing? I've been at the gym. I've been, drinking more. I've been less alcohol. I've quit smoking, and suddenly you're 10 years younger. So this all has to play into aesthetics. It can't just be coming in and getting your filler done or your skin boosters done, because it's just money down the drain if you're not going to work from within at the same time. So given everything we've just spoken about, where do you think aesthetics is going?
Do you want my honest opinion? I think that it's starting to move towards less having treatments done like filler and Botox, and focusing more on doing things very slowly over a longer period of time, i.e. not getting that instant factor that you had with fillers. And so collagen building and more touching on regenerative medicine, such as what you mentioned, taking peptides, taking other longevity type medications which work from the inside and make your skin, and so it reflects on the outside. Would you agree with that, or would you think?
Partly, and then partly not. I think the one part of me that agrees, I think, yes, people are getting really excited about this whole peptide thing, and they think it's just like weight loss. It's like, oh, this is the new thing, and they want quick. You've got to remember something. We are living in a world now where everything must be quick. Everyone wants something right now. They want results right this minute. Someone gets their Botox done that's been having Botox for the past 10 years, and they say on day 2, my Botox hasn't worked. You've been having Botox for 10 years. Botox takes 2 weeks to kick in properly. So why after 2 days do you suddenly think the Botox is going to work? Everyone wants stuff done now. So I don't think everyone has always got the patience for the longevity game. I don't think they've got the patience for have a skin booster now, your skin will look great in 6 weeks. I still think we are stuck in a place where people want results now. So do I think it's going to change? I do see it changing, but I do think that we will always have that nature of I want results right now. I want instant gratification, and you're only going to get that with something that gives you results when you leave the door, i.e. threads, i.e. having filler done. Those are the only things that are going to give you the results when you leave the door. So I think you're going to still have that 50-50. I don't see this changing anytime soon, although it would be nice to think it would.